In this example, in this part, we're going to be working on adding and subtracting radical expression, but now we have variables in them. So let's take a look at the example. First, we have the square root of 75x plus the square root of 12x minus 8 square root of 3x. So we're going to analyze each part. Now I can break up 75 because 25 can go into 75 3 times. I can break up the 12 because 4 can go into 12 3 times. Now I cannot break up the 3 because I can't simplify nor do the square root, so this last part is in its simplest form. So let's simplify the first and the second radical expression. So when we're going to break it up, we're going to have the square root of 25 times the square root of 3 times the square root of x. So right now I'm just separating the numbers and the variables. Next, I'm going to simplify, break down square root of 12x. So I'm going to have square root of 4 times 3 times square root of x. And lastly, we're going to keep the last radical expression the same because it's in its simplest form. That should be a minus, so 8 square root of 3x. Alright, so let's simplify each radical expression. In the first part, you can do the square root of 25, which is just 5. You cannot simplify nor do the square root of 3, and the same thing here, I can't do the square root nor simplify. So I'm just going to have square root of 3x together next to the 5. Add my plus sign. Now for the second one, I can only do the square root of 4, which is 2. I cannot do the square root nor simplify 3. Same thing, I cannot do the square root nor simplify x, so I'm going to put it together inside one square root, just like that. And then I'm just going to bring down minus 8 square root of 3x. Now comparing all these three radical expressions, you notice that each radical expression have square root of 3x. So that means that you can combine like terms since they have the square root of 3x. And it has to be exactly the same. So if this was 3x squared, then it cannot be combined with these other radical expressions. So I repeat, they have to be exactly the same. Same radical, same number, same variable with same exponents. So once they are exactly the same, you're just going to combine the outside number. So 5 plus 2 minus 8, that's going to be negative 1 square root of 3x. Now, you can leave it as negative 1 square root of 3x, or you can just write it as negative square root of 3x. Either way works for me. And then this will be our final answer. And again, you can write either negative 1 square root of 3x, which is fine with me, or just negative square root of 3x. As I stated before, in order to combine like terms, you must have the same thing inside the radical. Same radical, which is the square root, same number, same variable with the same exponent. Square root of 3x, square root of 3x, square root of 3x. If they're all exactly the same, combine the outside numbers. Now, following from this previous example, I want to illustrate that again. I stated that in order to combine like terms, is that the radicals have to be exactly the same. So let's say that instead of having these right here, we had 5 square root of 3x plus 2 square root of 3m minus 8 square root of 3x. Now, again, in order to combine them is that you can only combine the ones that are like radicals that are exactly the same. So if we take a close look, the only thing that has like radicals are the 3x. I repeat, the square root of 3x. So we can only combine the 5 and the minus 8. So when we combine them, 5 square root of 3x minus 8 square root of 3x will be negative 3 square root of 3x. And then the 2 square root of 3m, we couldn't combine it because we had 3m. Even though we have the same number, it still has to be exactly the same expression. So since 3m is not the same as 3x, we don't combine this with any of the radical expression, so I'm just going to bring it down, plus 2 square root of 3m. So like I said before, you can only combine them if they have like radicals, meaning exactly the same number, exactly the same variable, exactly the same exponents, and same radical. So here, since we can only combine the 5 and the negative 8 because they had 3 square root of 3x, which we get negative 3 square root of 3x, and then the one with 3m, which was not the same as everything other radical expressions, we just bring it down. So this will be our final answer. So it's okay if you don't have like radicals, it's just combine the ones that you can and then bring down the ones you cannot, and make sure you have your answer in this format. Negative 3 square root of 3x plus 2 square root of 3m. Again, these two you can combine them, which is okay. Just make sure that you have it in your final answer.